It is that time of the year again, one that is usually characterized with incessant threats to the security of lives and property of Federal Capital Territory residents. The Yuletide is usually synonymous with slight breaches in security and often seen as a litmus test for police and other security agencies in the Federal Capital Territory. While the Yuletide is here now, the nation's capital, how would we describe the security situation of the nation's capital and preparations for the festivities, as the case may be? These and more will be our focus on this week's episode of your regular security check program. Good morning. This is Call the Police live on NTA Channel 5 Abuja. My name is Onotu Yakubu. Stay tuned, please. The program returns shortly. Thanks for staying tuned, and if you are just joining us, this is Call the Police live on the Unity Station, NTA Channel 5 Abuja. Don't forget, as usual, that you get to be part of our discussions in the studio this morning on security preparations for the Yuletide festivities through phone calls into the studio to have one-on-one with my guests. But then that will be before this background report to usher us into the studio discussions. Confronting security challenges is a task that requires the support and commitment of all. In this regard, the nature of threats to security in the Federal Capital Territory have become increasingly complex over time, hence the need for support to meet up with modern methods of combating crimes. Occasional incidences of commercial motorcyclists running rampage at the suburb and pockets of petty crimes have continuously caught attention of residents, while in the city center, the menace of one chance and missing persons occasionally still generate worries. But the joint security formations have been swift with response through special operations across the territory to combat these menaces, to restore confidence and security across board.
They need to rise up to the occasion that the FCT is almost becoming like other states like Borno, Niger and all that, because these criminal elements are also coming into Abuja.
Expert analysis over time has revealed the possibilities of sounding and daunting challenges of insecurity as human-induced disaster, which affects the people, especially at critical moments such as the Yuletide season. Rufus Ebeba is the chairman, Police Community Relations Committee, FCT. He believes it can be better to strengthen operational assets and platforms for the police to enhance civil security.
The federal government must deliberately concentrate on FCT, not just on FCT alone, but Nigeria as a whole. I see no reason why we cannot have helicopters or other aircraft that are bulletproof, surveying the territory of Nigeria, particularly FCT, to ensure that even when there is an issue of insurgency, the issue of kidnapping, there should be prompt response.
The FCT administration is in unanimity with Chief Rufus's argument and has gone ahead to strengthen security of the territory with the acquisition and presentation of gadgets to the security agencies domiciled within the territory.
This statutory period, make sure that we don't give them any gap. And I don't want anybody to say because there was no vehicle before we could reach there, something has happened. No. There are vehicles. And I thank the Commissioner of Police who has said that we have given out 50 and now we are giving another 50, making it 100.
The FCT security commands and formations say they have mapped out adequate strategic operational measures to ensure hitch-free festivities.
The deployment, so far, the RRS, the ACOS, they are all manning and also at strategic positions to ensure no crime takes place. Security Intelligence Bureau They are also are on ground. They are already alert.
All hands are on deck. We had series of meetings, myself and the other service commanders, and all is geared towards providing security, for residents of FCT, not during the Unitide alone. This we have been doing, and we'll continue to do. As we speak, there is the joint operation going on.
Moving forward, beyond the Yuletide, however, one passionate appeal resounds in the wish list of FCT residents, and that is to live in a capital city where good citizens fear less of the unknown.
Well, that report succinctly, highlights the security situations, of course, the prospects and expectations from residents of the FCT on what the security should be this Yuletide season for residents to have a fruitful celebration. My guest today is the Superintendent of Police, Hamza Galadima. He is the Divisional Police Officer in charge of Gwarimpa Police Division. It's good to have you join us this morning, DPO, on Call the Police.
It's a pleasure meeting you.
Well, you watched that background report with me, and then, of course, you saw the issues raised as regards the security of the FCT and the need to beef up the situation and give residents respite for a seamless celebration. How do you respond to the background report as it's captured there?
Well, actually, security is everybody's business. We all know. And by the grace of God, at least under the leadership of the President Kompol, Commissioner of Police, Luan Olatunji Dutu, he has been on ground at least since his assumption of office. He has it in mind at least, and he has reminded everybody to make sure at least he must have a zero tolerance of security. And going by this ember period that we are approaching, he has been on his toes. As I'm talking to you now presently this morning, he's somewhere. It's not everything that is meant to be said publicly, but at least I believe we are on ground. There are strategies that have been developed at least through operational order that has been in existence long before now. It has been in the public domain, and he has been on his toes every day to make sure at least we have done something differently. Our public spaces must be covered, must be dominated by the policies. Make sure that at least we have a crime-free days and night within your AOR and within Abuja residents.
So in view of these robust efforts and strategies put in place, how would you describe the general security of the FCT this morning that we're speaking, and of course as it builds up to next week Wednesday, that is Christmas?
By the grace of God, just the way I said, at least we have been tolerating, there's zero tolerance of crime and criminality within the FCT, no going back, and the leadership at least have won, and we have put some measures at least within the policing space to make sure that at least Abuja is free. What we are appealing to the public at least, if you see something, say something. We must partner at least with the public at least and let them be free. All our communication response teams and all our process, our control room are all up to date at least, and they are on their toes at least. Most importantly, at least if something is happening, at least lies on how the public were able to report. Sometimes you meet your community, at least they don't even have access to they don't even know their community. You don't identify yourself with the police, no matter how it is, at least, no matter how small our outpost is. Try to reach out to them, have personal relationship with them, have one or two people's contact. Sometimes the process of the communication at least delays a lot of things because of prompt response at least. But by the grace of God, at least under his leadership, at least he has been on his toes, making sure at least he moves around, he makes sure at least his management team moves around, interferes with the public, monitor the men, monitor the public to make sure that at least police have represented what is expected at least with modern policing.
If you're just joining us, this is Call the Police live on the Unity Station, NTA Channel 5 Abuja. Don't forget, as usual, you get to be part of our discussions this morning. It's a phone-in program, a live phone-in program where you get to interact with the guests in the studio to shed light on those salient security situations in your area of domicile that you think they need to give attention to. If it is something good that is happening regarding policing and security in your area, it's not a bad thing to also call in on the program and give a pat on the back to the men of the Nigerian security agencies who are getting it done. So the number to call us in is right now on the screen. You can get to be part of the discussion this morning. Now, DPO, moving on. The Christmas season is usually one that is registers high increase in business activities. Of course, you know where there is business, there is also bound to be criminal activities. What is the FCT Police Command's assurance to residents on, preservation of the people's peace at this period?
Actually, just the way I said, at least the command have been on their toes, at least making sure at least we have done something differently. And issue of security, at least people always, modern security people use their senses, at least always thinking ahead of everybody. But by the grace of God, as the leading police agency, we do have to provide FCT resident at least with security. We have developed a template, at least our markets, our shopping malls, our traffic controls, and the rest and what have you. There are strategies that was developed by the command under the leadership.
Before you continue on that, my first caller. Hello, good morning. Okay, go ahead.
There was a strategy that was developed at least by the command under the leadership of the CP, at least to make sure at least all our public spaces have been dominated at least by our policing. To make sure at least policemen have proved themselves in a professional manner, what is expected of them, to be professional, to be civil, to make sure at least all our policing space and all our public places at least are dominated.
Right, go ahead. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. You want to call the police? You tell us your name, where you're calling from, and then go ahead and make your contribution.
My name is Adinoy.
Okay.
And I'm calling from Tungamadi.
All right, go ahead, Adinoy.
First of all, I want to commend the FCT Commissioner of Police for giving us a divisional police headquarters in Tungamadi.
All right.
It has been long overdue. We are very, very happy.
That's a good
and
one.
The DPO himself is actually working. Working very, very well. I don't know his name, but seriously working. Very hardworking young man. Every day the police are on patrol at night and everything. Our place there was notorious for kidnapping and all of that.
Yes, kidnapping, I remember.
But this DPO came in. I don't think anybody has heard of kidnapping again in Tungamadi. I only want to commend the FCT minister, Yeso Wike. I think he's got sense. If we can have this kind of people, just 3 of them in this country, Nigeria will change. Honestly speaking, it's very, very proactive. But I equally want to appeal to the DPO there in the studio that please, you should help us equally beg the Commissioner of Police FCT that the new divisional, the headquarters that we are building here in Tungamadi, we've built it to a route, we've routed it right now through community efforts.
All right.
So please, I don't know if you can take our plea to the Commissioner and Minister so that they can just come and help us finish it up. The land was purchased by the community. We built it, we contributed money, moved it, we plastered it. Even we started putting windows. So just to do some finishing touches.
Sorry.
You can take our plea, Commissioner, stuff very, very happy.
Right.
The FCT is now here. I'm very happy. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Adinoy, for calling in on Call the Police this morning. I heard improvements in policing in Tungamadi area.
Well, actually, at least he has said well and he has spoken very well. That is what is expected of at least as a
policing
initiative at least. And by the grace of God, at least we are just moving. This message will be related accordingly, and I believe at least is to just consider it at least in the days of the Commissioner of Police. And by the grace of God, these are some of his policies and these are his ways of doing things. So make sure at least he has added value to entire community. He has been taking his statistics at least and he has been adding value across at least.
Hello,
and
good morning.
will not be an exceptional.
Yes, you want to call the police.
Calling from this
Your name again, please.
I just want to commend the Commissioner of Police, the city.
Okay.
Since his arrival, I can see improvement in every part of Abuja.
All right.
Especially Mobushi division, they are trying, and the police station here, they are trying. security and peace, especially the task force between police and vigilante.
All right, Mr. Emem,
with our eyes closed. We can sleep here with our eyes closed. We have never come across any incident all these days. I just want to give kudos to the Nigerian police.
Thank you for commending them. But I also, Mr. Emem, I also want to give this chip in that while the police are making these efforts to provide security for your communities, there's also the need to embrace the community policing efforts that is ongoing by providing them with requisite information to work with to get the job done better, so that what you're even having now, they can improve on it. Thank you. All right. Well, it's commendation today for the effort of the police. All right. Moving on.
Actually, if I will respond, definitely, the Commissioner of Police, present leadership, deserve to be commended, because he's a metropolitan police officer, a seasonal target police officer with a vast experience who has worked across this country and has been adding value across the country in policy. The technology is developing and the supervisional template that we have in FCT now. No any police officer has any reason to complain, because he's a leader, he's a seasonal police officer, and he's on ground. He moves around throughout the night. In fact, sometimes we even wonder when does Oga has time to sleep, because he's almost everywhere. 24 hours, daybreak, supervision. When he's in office, you always go out for supervision. When you are relaxing, the expectation time of relaxing, you meet him everywhere. Calls everywhere, supervision everywhere. You got him on radio, you have him on phones, calling, supervision, connecting sometimes. People calls, make sure people will be calling him, he picks his calls, he connects. DPO, where are you? Which checkpoint? ABC. He sort out issues. Make sure he manage the situation, supervise the men, caution them at the rightful time, and make sure that he has presented a template for professionalism, to make sure that they should know the job is done properly.
Thank you. Hello, good morning. Hello. Network. I hope you call back. All right, DPO, let's move ahead now. One issue that has become synonymous to the Federal Capital Territory, the issue of one chance. I am aware that there is an ongoing operation to clamp down on the menace, an operation that is yielding results, at least going by the update that the CP gives on a weekly basis. What is the latest situation from the command?
Well, actually, the CP, out of his humility and magnanimity, looking at the issue with a human face. We know the situation is tense, but the police has no option, We know the public are complaining, but he has been making a lot of adjustments, to make sure, we have a crime-free days, All what police is doing and all what the CP look inward, just the way he has been saying, 90% or 99% or 100% of the victims of one chance, they will tell you ABC. Some information, are not meant to be said in public, but the little ones that the CP feel, he should share with the public is to make sure that this issue of tint should be controlled and be regulated, because people abuse it so much. And he has been looking inward, with human face, to make sure policemen are doing it with human face. Last 2-3 weeks when we started, we normally move cars to our divisions, go question people, profile them, and the rest and what have you. But because of his humility, and he makes sure he carry everybody along to make sure police are performing their lawful duty professionally, and with adding value with the society without any stress to the public. He look inward, okay, fine. If you meet in the public,
let's take this call before you go ahead. Hello, good morning. Hello. Hello, good morning. Okay, I think the network is a bit messy. So go ahead.
Yeah, so just the way I was saying, the CP make sure when you are being flagged down, you are being cautioned diplomatically, professionally, because in most cases, the time all these checkpoints are being reactivated, the CP always is on the road. Almost every day he leaves the office, he disguises in a different platform to make sure he's accountable of his actions, and the men are accountable of their actions professionally. We make sure they flag you down, they ask you the necessary questions, civil and professionally If needs arise there and then, they will tell you resolve the matter, remove your attempt and just proceed. Those that have medical reports and ABC professionally, he normally do the needful at least. So it's issue of everybody's business, but people took it at least in the early stage of it as maybe it's but by the But now at least we are grateful. At least the public are supporting. At least they are understanding more. And in the evening, at least in most cases, at least most of the time that these things are when checkpoints are being activated, you hardly hear issue of one chance. So we can only appeal to the public, just the way the Commissioner of Police has been doing. At least he has been so too professional, pleading with the public. But please support the policemen, support the police, please. Nobody will be happy. At least if it does not happen to me, it happens to my brother, my sister, my neighbor, and the rest and what have you. If something is becoming something else, but by the grace of God, it has been coming down. It has been coming down drastically, because CP has taken it as part of his personal projects. He supervises it directly to make sure at least you must do the needful. There should be no one chance cases.
All right, to touch on a couple of other issues before the time runs out on us. It's Christmas, and the central business district in places like Wuse and then the commercial zones usually have beehive of activities, movement of people, emergency business transactions, and of course, criminals usually will want to take advantage of this situation for quick catch. What is your advice to residents who are doing final rush preparations for the Christmas against being victims to situations?
Well, actually, if you see something, say something at least. But the operational order has already captured every part of Abuja with the complex nature of each area. At least has been captured. A central business area at least, so no stone unturned at least will be left at least. All what we are going to encourage people at least, make sure go out lawfully and professionally at least and perform your lawful business. The policemen are there to make sure at least 24 hours at least central business area is safe and entire Abuja. The expectation at least police have been doing the needful, and we have developed a template at least within the operational order. Rates has been carried out at least and the rest and what have you to make sure some things are not meant to be said, but at least public knows that at least this embark period is no more business as usual.
My final call on the program. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, you tell us your name and your location, please.
I'm Adewale, my name. I'm calling from Abuja, Metama.
All right, Adewale from Metama. Go ahead.
Yes. I'm so appreciative for police work in Abuja. I'm so appreciative for the work of policemen in Abuja.
All right, thank you for.
Secondly, what I really want to complain on is that I can't really come with complaint. Because between this along this drawing part between wine and from area 1 to this paradise side, there is some very full of area, 1 to 8 on that road. There are some of the clubs of the state. Some of them have a normal plate number in the front, and when you get to the back of the car, you get to a foreign plate number on the car. And they will, most of them ticket the car, and when you stay on that road looking for a car, like going to DY, they will call the name of like commercial and once you enter the car, then they will see whatever they want from that road. From that parking junction to that Rosie Barracks to that AY.
It's all right. Thank you, Mr. Adewale, for this very particular information. Yes, you were talking about the issue of tint earlier, one chance, and then all of that lumped up use of 2 different plate numbers.
Yes, actually, just like the last caller is saying at least. It's no more longer business as usual. Everybody knows it. The CP has been climbing down on all these things. And we're only appealing to our public servants and the rest and what have you. Please let us respect the laws because we may not know everything. At least we expect the public at least to say something like this at least so that people should know. People at least go and document your car and let your car be properly registered as a true Nigerian. We are not asking for much. The side is not asking for much. Please, the system is no longer like before. The present leadership have come up with template. This is how we operate. Register your car properly. Hang your numbers front and back. If you are tinted, at least let you be seen. Just at least for the society to be safe and free, no more, no less. We are not asking for too much. We believe at least if everybody does that, it will calm down, and that is the expectation. Because the present leadership have said it time without number, we have zero tolerance of crime and criminality, and we are not leaving any stone unturned. Everybody is on his toes in FCT command. There is no illegality, there is no compromise. We must be professional. We must add value to the society unconditionally across the way we are. issue of things, please let us cooperate. People are cooperating. We are very happy. An issue of plate number, sometimes you see, who are you? It's uncalled for. Covering your plate number. Why? Who are you hiding?
Right. DPO, for want of time, this one is very critical to the Yuletide also. The issue of firecrackers. The command issued a press statement to indicate that the ban on it is still subsisting. While time is running out on us, what is the command stand on the issue of firecrackers, knockouts, and bangers this Christmas festivities?
Well, actually, it's clear. The directive is clear, and it's just what we are discussing, at least adding value to the society. All these things, at least, has been suspended for now. At least the Commissioner of Police have communicated through different platforms and through different interviews, through different process to make sure at least all these things should be suspended, at least for now, to allow us at least to police the community successfully, to make sure at least we have a good, fruitful and embedded period at least. The period is no more longer friendly. All these strategies and measures to make sure at least FCT is safe
for all. Well, on that note, we want to say thank you, DPO Maitama, Superintendent of Police Hamza Galadima, Gwarimpa, sorry, I beg your pardon, Superintendent of Police Hamza Galadima, for calling on Paul the Police this morning.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
And as usual to you, the viewer, it's good to have you be part of us this morning. Of course, like he has rightly said, it is about adding value. Security is everybody's business, and we must all play our parts collectively, aid the police in giving us that security that we crave for on a daily basis. And it's on that note, I want to say it's been a good pleasure having you be part of us this morning. Make it a date with us next week, Wednesday, which is the Christmas day, to also discuss security of the Federal Capital Territory. And on that note, I say good morning. I remain yours, Onotu Yakubu, your anchor.